Dr. Laura Berman joins me now in our studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. It's good to see you.
It's amazing you can use the word happy, because I think about you and I remember being on the show and I thought, how will this family ever find their smile again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had the same question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just speaks to the resilience of human spirit. I'm not alone in having been through a tragedy like this. I have met tens of thousands of other parents since Sammy died who have lost their children similar ways or through other tragedies. And yes, many people do stay stuck in their grief, sometimes for the rest of their lives. But I was committed to not doing that. So I've worked really hard to keep living and to find my joy again. And I know that's what Sammy would want.
I think part of your ability to do that, because we've known each other for 20-something years, is that you found a purpose in finding an answer, and that you needed to hold the person responsible who came to that home and provided him with drugs that day. You were waiting on the toxicology report when you and your husband were here last time. What did the results reveal?
It's astoundingly slow. We still don't have a formal result. All we know...
How long has it been again?
6 months.
And they don't have a result?
We still don't have his cell phone back. We still don't have the toxicology report. We know, the only thing we know is the preliminary report showed fentanyl, which we suspected. We don't know what it is. Just through his, friends and rumors, we've been, we believe it was Xanax, Percocet, something, but we don't know. And what happens with these drugs is that sometimes they have some fentanyl in it, but often it's pure fentanyl. And so the child or the adult even takes something and it doesn't even have the thing in it that they thought that they were taking.
You established that you were going to challenge social media outlets, wherever they are, to monitor this trend that found its way into homes, largely because of the pandemic. Some parents believe. They believe the kids were locked in, isolated, feeling lonely, and then the social media became a way to keep in contact with friends, but also fall prey to things. I should note that the last time Dr. Berman appeared on our show, we did reach out to Snapchat for a statement, and they said, in part, we are committed to working together with law enforcement in this case, and in all instances where Snapchat is used for illegal purposes, we have zero tolerance for using Snapchat to buy or sell illegal drugs. Using Snapchat for illegal purposes is firmly against our community guidelines, and we enforce against these violations. Did you find that to be the case when you tried doing this?
It's just like word salad. It's not, yes, I do think, and I have heard that they have at least cooperated with the police in our case and in other cases. But the problem is Snapchat, TikTok, a lot of the gaming systems, the place where our children are the most. And I've had conversations with the head of Snapchat about this, and he did not give me any satisfaction. They do not allow parental monitoring software. Facebook allows it.
Joining us is Dr. Berman's husband, Sam Chapman. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining us as well. I know that this is probably one of the rare occasions you haven't been at each other's side, because you have been going through this as a family. Have you been surprised by the number of people who say that they've experienced something similar with, whether it's Snapchat, whatever, where their children are falling prey to surprising things now online as a result of this pandemic and the lockdown and all of what we've gone through?
I was surprised, and we've been contacted by so many families, we had to create a space for it. So we have a Facebook page called Parents for Safer Children, and there are 12,000 stories like our son's. People are posting the faces of children who have passed away with the assistance of a social media platform, and it just goes on and on. With fentanyl increasing in the United States, these deaths are just going to get more and more this year. Something has to be done, and quickly.
It's something, when we spoke with you last season, we'd done a story on a Las Vegas school district and how the teachers there were trying to reach out to students because they'd had a staggering number of suicides. As young as, I believe at the time, 7 years old. My mother regularly sends me a headline from somewhere, a child bullied and took his or her own life, or a child, and the ages completely destroy you when you read it. Sam, the same with this drug abuse and the access to it online. We're not talking 19-year-olds or 20-year-olds experimenting in college. We're talking 12 and 13-year-olds and 16-year-olds. It's staggering.
That's right. And they're moving around in packs online, getting in trouble together, passing on information and code words. And there are no ways for parents to keep up with this. That's why the parent monitoring software is so vital. And that's why we're pushing for Sammy's Law to require parent monitoring software on all platforms that allow our children.
You've gathered nearly 40,000 signatures to require parent monitoring on social media and gaming platforms. You know, we had Sheryl Sandberg on last year to talk about Facebook and disinformation and misinformation that's all over that social media platform. As with Snapchat, you know, Sheryl Sandberg said they're committed. Do you believe what you're hearing? Do you believe that there's a commitment to fixing this?
So Facebook was recently accused of covering up a study that showed deleterious effects on young girls, on teen girls, to being on Instagram. And I think that the platforms are being totally disingenuous with us about the size of this problem. They are paid, and their stock price goes up by the number of users that they have. And they've disregarded the health of those users.